this is my 2010 Toyota Tacoma that we solid axle swapped, put 1 tons under it and 40s. And we're not gonna stop making videos on it daily until it's done. We gave ourselves exactly 30 days to finish it, and today is day 7. Let's get to work.
Brought to you in part by Alpine Toyota, Martech Engineering, and in part by...
All right, we are now on day 7 of the Tacoma build. What can we cross off? We cut off the rear brackets, we fixed the grounds, we painted rear frame half, reinstalled box. That's actually quite the few things off this list. And I think today, I want to play with wiring so that the dash lights turn off and the truck thinks it's normal. So I'm gonna head to Alpine Toyota, I'm gonna print off some diagrams, the combination meter diagram, and, well, maybe ABS diagrams. I don't know, it depends on what they have. And we'll go from there. Well, I'm here, but they're closed because I didn't realize it's Easter long weekend. So I guess I'm not getting diagrams today, and I'm not gonna be doing wiring today. So I guess we'll head back home and figure out what else I wanna do. All right, since we can't do wiring, I think I'll look at power steering lines. So that would be, the factory lines are still sitting right here. It's got this hard line and this soft line for return. And it's gotta go from here up to the top of this power steering box right there. It might reach. So if we take this guy, kind of ramrod it up and over, there it is there. So this needs to go there. It might reach. Might need to do some creative bending on that hard line, but pull this guy back out, pull this guy off. Now, can we bend this? Okay, I want to take that first bend out of it. Wonder if anyone's got a pipe bender we can borrow. Because then I could just put another bend right here, straighten that out, another bender. It's going to be kind of zigzaggy, but like, I honestly think we can make this line work. So yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but I 100% think I can make the factory power steering line work. I just got to get a tubing bender, and I have one coming, to straighten this guy out a bit and just manipulate it to where I need it to be. My backup plan for that was to actually take the power steering lines out of my Toyota pickup, you know, borrow parts from that to build this, because it's got the trail gear power steering lines. They advertise them for Tacoma solid axle swap, so you can run the IFS box with the 3.4 power steering pump, but they're all the same. It would work on this newer Gen Tacoma too, I'm dead certain. But if I don't have to steal parts, that's even better. So while I wait for the tubing bender to get back to the power steering lines up front, I think I'm gonna try fitting up the front portion of the exhaust and, well, see how that goes. See what clears, what doesn't, see where I need to modify it. Alrighty, how are we looking? Oh yeah, maybe. Okay. So I definitely have to cut it up a bit. The resonators, they have to go. I still have the upper cats, and those will read off of these O2 sensors, so that should be fine in theory. But yeah, these guys are very much in the way. I'll cut them off, put the flanges back up, and I might need to put a straight piece in between it. I knew there'd be fitment issues with this again. There's just so much new stuff up here, there's no way it was gonna work. All right, now we know. Alright, so here's the plan. Cut this guy out, put this guy in its place, boppity, boopity, done. So I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to put the flange side, attach it to the manifolds there, then mock it up into place, and pretty much tack this underneath the truck in place, and then pull it out to fully weld it around. And then once this side's done, we'll move on to this side, which doesn't have to be done. This side's got all the clearance in the world, but I don't really want it to like mess with things by having like uneven flow on either side of the exhaust. I don't know if it would actually make a difference, but it'll make me feel better if I do that. might be able to just flare that enough to ram it in there. Go. I can weld that. Perfect. I can weld that. I had another thought. So, what's stopping me from extending this? The crossover rides real close between the transfer case and the new cross member. But if I move it back like 6 inches, it can cross over just a bit like behind the transfer case. You know what I mean? So it used to come in right here, real tight. But if I move it back 6 inches, it can cross over here. I feel like that's a better option. I got crap on my face. Yeah, that's enough pondering. I'm gonna make the executive decision. We're gonna extend both sides. Now, before I can throw this underneath the truck and start mocking things up, I gotta run a Canadian Tire and get another one of these guys, because I only had one. And then, yeah, when I get back, we'll toss it under the truck, mock everything up, and we're in business. Alright, so this right here is kind of what we got figured out. I know this kind of looks goofy. They're just 2 adapters I happen to have in my own inventory, and they will work perfect for what we need. Yeah. Laid out pretty much like this, but we'll have to throw it underneath the truck and see how it fits. And there would be the finished result. I realized when I went to go stop the time lapse that I wasn't time lapsing anymore because I turned it off while I was in the process of being frustrated with my welder. I wasted like so much just dead wire on the ground because it was coming out of the machine all split in half and getting stuck and not welding properly. I think I just got a bad spool of wire because, yeah, I'm having so many problems with it just coming out completely split. And you can see on the spool itself that it is split. Welding good for a bit, and it would stop, and I'd look, and it'd be split, and I'd have to pull the wire out. So let's throw it in the truck and see how she fits. Hopefully she didn't warp too much from actually, like, burning it all together. That's perfect! That's exactly where I wanted it. Now, I could plug in the O2 sensors. Bam. Bam! On the very first video I ever did on the Tacoma, I got an email almost instantly from this company called Hook Road, and they offered to send me a bumper, and knowing that I was going 3rd gen conversion, I asked for a 3rd gen bumper. There it is, kind of mocked up on the truck. Obviously the body lines and everything don't match up because it's designed for a 3rd gen, and I mean, in theory, I've got that 3rd gen front end coming from McNeil Fiberglass, but I threw the grill on there just so you can get a good idea. I am so excited. I've always loved the looks of the 3rd generation Tacomas ever since they came out. And I know that's kind of a controversial opinion. Some of you guys in the comments hate the idea of me going 3rd gen, but I love the looks. And I just had to like throw the bumper and grill on there and get a good idea of what it's going to look like. It's going to have to get trimmed for tire clearance, which isn't a big issue. I kind of expected that. Also, I got to give a huge shout out to Tacoma Beast for sending us this TRD Pro grill with the amber lights in it. And they also sent over headlights that somehow got lost in shipping, so hopefully we get those soon as well. Anyways, I think this is where I'm going to call it quits for today because I think we're going to the hockey game tonight. Anyways, guys, give me a huge favor, smash that thumbs up button, and hey, make sure you subscribe because we're daily vlogging this truck until it's done. And Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.